Daf Yomi, Tractate Bava Batra, page 111a, top of the page. And it was in the middle of an idea, so the bottom of 110b states, the Mishnah teaches, the ish es imo v'chule b'nahan mili. Okay, in Tanur Rabbanan. The Mishnah teaches, and a man with regard to his mother inherits from her relatives, but does not bequeath to her. The Gemara asks, from where are these matters derived? The Gemara answers, as the sages taught. Okay. And now we're on the top of 111a. V'chol bas yoreshes nachalav mimatois b'nei Yisrael. Haich bas yoreshes shtei matos. Elazo she'avia meshevet echad ve'ima meshevet echad. Meshevet acher. Umesu v'yarashtan. The verse states, and to every daughter who possesses an inheritance from the tribes of the children of Israel, Numbers 36:8, noting the plural in the phrase, from the tribes of the children of Israel. The Batra asks, how can a daughter inherit land from two tribes? Rather, this is referring to a daughter whose father is from one tribe, but her mother is from another tribe. And they both died, and she inherited from both of them. Therefore, it can be seen in this verse that a daughter inherits from her mother. Ve'en li elabas ben minayin, amar tekal b'chomer, uma bas shehora kocha benichse ha'av, yapa kocha benichse ha'em, ben shiyipa kocha benichse ha'av, eno din shiyipa kocha benichse ha'em, וממקום שבעת אמר להלן בן קודם לבס, אף כאן ben koidu lebas. The Batra continues, and I have derived only that a daughter inherits from her mother. But from where do I derive that a son inherits from his mother as well? You can say an a fortiori inference, which means a kal v'chomer, easy and then hard. If a weak person can pick up 50 pounds, then a strong person can for sure pick up 50 pounds. That's a kal v'chomer. So just as a daughter whose power is diminished with regard to her father's property, in that she does not inherit it when there's a son, yet her power is enhanced with regard to her mother's property, in that she inherits it with regard to his son, whose power is enhanced with regard to his father's property, in that he is first in the order of inheritance. Is it not logical that his power is enhanced with regard to his mother's property? The Batra continues, and from the place that you came, meaning from the inheritance that was just stated, one can say the following. Just as there, with regard to a father's property, a son precedes a daughter, so to here, with regard to a mother's property, a son precedes a daughter. This is the opinion of the first Tana. Rav Yossi ber-Rav Yehuda v'Rav Elazar ber-Rav Yossi amru, Mishum Rabbi Zachariah ben Hakatzav. Echad ben v'echad הבas שווים בנכסי האם. מהי תימה? דיו לבא מן הדין ליועץ כנידון. דיו לבוא מן הדין להיות כנידון. The Batra continues. This is a pretty famous klal in Shas. Dayo lavo min hadin lios kanidon. I wonder what the gematria of that is. We're going to find out right now on the web's best gematria calculator. 793. Nice. The Batra continues, Rabbi Yossi, the son of Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Lazar, the son of Yossi, and the son of Rabbi Zachariah ben Hakatzav, both the son and the daughter are equal with regard to the mother's property. What is the reason for this ruling? And this is the call. It is sufficient for the conclusion that emerges from an a fortiori inference to be like its source. According to this principle, a halacha derived by means of an a fortiori inference cannot go beyond the halachot of the source from which it is derived. Since the halacha that a son inherits from his mother was derived via an a fortiori inference from the halacha that a daughter inherits from her mother, it cannot be that this inference should lead to the conclusion that a son precedes a daughter inheriting from the mother. Okay, so back to my simple, very, very simplistic, primitive example of a kal v'chomer. I said that if a weak person can pick up 50 pounds, then a strong person can for sure pick up 50 pounds. But the principle of Dio tells us that you cannot say if a weak person can pick up 50 pounds, then a strong person can for sure pick up 100 pounds. You can't go more than what you're learning it out from. The weak person is equated with 50 pounds. Now the strong person can pick up 50 pounds. But you cannot say that the strong person can pick up even 75 pounds just because the weak person can pick up 50 pounds, even though it's probably pretty logical that the strong person can pick up more than 75 pounds. But you cannot even go any bit more than what you're learning it out from. That's the idea. Ve'atana kama lo daresh dayo v'hadayo deraisahu. The Gemara asks, and doesn't the first Tana also interpret verses employing the principle of it is sufficient which is dayo, for the conclusion that emerges from an a fortiori inference to be like its source? But the principle of it is sufficient is found in the Torah, so how could you disagree with it? Ditanya, we learned in the Braisa. Now we're going to explain how it's from the Torah. And as it's taught in the Braisa that explains the hermeneutical principles. Ditanya bidin the kal v'chomer ketzad v'yomer shema Moshe v'avia yarok yarak b'fonea halom tikalem shivat yamim kal v'chomer l'shchina arba asar. Okay. The verse states with regard to Miriam after she spoke ill of her brother Moses. Okay, the Braita is now going to explain the hermeneutical principles of a kal v'chomer. The verse states with regard to Miriam after she spoke ill of her brother Moses, and the Lord said to Moses, if her father had but spit in her face, should she not hide in shame for 7 days? Numbers 12:14. The verse is saying that if a father spits in the face of his daughter and reprimands her, that must be nasty. If a daughter spits in the face of his daughter and reprimands her, she would feel shame for 7 days. By an a fortiori inference, it is derived that Miriam, who suffered the more severe reprimand of the divine presence, should be ostracized for 14 days. Why then was Miriam ostracized only for 7 days? I don't understand why Miriam suffered more severe reprimand from the divine presence. The father spit in her face, so that's established. But how do we know that she suffered more from the divine presence? Well, let's just say she did. Okay, she should be ostracized for 14 days. Why those 7 days? Rather, it is sufficient for the conclusion that emerges from an a fortiori inference to be like its source, so her punishment cannot be for longer than the punishment of one who was reprimanded by a father. In any event, the principle begins with "it is sufficient." Why? Why necessarily? Why? Why are you jumping to that conclusion? I don't get this. Anyway, Ba'alma Darish Dayo, Vishani Hacha da Amakra, Mimatois, Barkish, Mate Ha'am, Ha'em, Limate Ha'av, Ma Mate Ha'av, Ben Koidim Lebas, Af Mate Ha'em, Ben Koidim Lebas. The Gemara answers generally. The first Tana also interprets verses employing the principle that begins with "it is sufficient." But it is different here with regard to inheritance, as the verse states, "And every daughter who possesses an inheritance from the tribes of the children of Israel," Numbers 36:8. The verse juxtaposes the tribe of the mother to the tribe of the father. Therefore, the first Tana holds that just as with regard to the tribe of the father, meaning inheriting from one's father, a son precedes a daughter, so too with regard to the tribe of a mother inheriting from one's mother, a son precedes a daughter. Are we holding on time? We're doing alright. Okay. Rav Nitai Sofer Lemevar Uvda Kerav Zechariah ben Hakatzav. Amar le Shmuel Kaman ke Zechariah. Efes Zechariah. Rabbi Tavla Avid Uvda Kerav Zechariah ben Hakatzav. Amar le Rav Nachman. My high. Amar le de Amar Rav Chinina Bar Shlemia Mishmei Derav. Halache k'Rabbi Zechariah ben Hakatzav. Amar le zil ahader bach ilah mapikna lach avchinina bar shelmia meunech. The Gemara relates that Rav Nitai thought to perform an action, meaning issue a ruling, in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Zechariah ben Hakatzav, who taught that a son and daughter are equal with regard to inheriting from their mother. Shmuel said to him, "In accordance with whose opinion do you wish to issue this ruling?" In accordance with the opinion of Zechariah. Zechariah is nil, meaning he's ephes, he's nothing. Meaning his statement was not accepted as halacha. Ouch. Zechariah is nothing. Wow. Rav Tavla performed an action, issued a ruling in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Zechariah ben Hakatzav. Rav Nachman said to him, "What is this?" Rav Tavla said to him, "As Rav Chinina Bar Shlemia says in the name of Rav, the halacha is in accordance with the opinion of Rabbi Zechariah ben Hakatzav." Rav Nachman said to him, "Go retract your ruling, and if you do not, I will take Rav Chinina Bar Shlemia out of your ear." Meaning that I will punish you severely for ruling against the accepted halakha. Wow. Okay. I just lost the place. That's no problem. We can go back. We are on 111A, I believe. Okay. We're almost done with it. He's saying, "I'll take someone out of your ear." I guess maybe he was stuck in his ear. I'm saying his thoughts were stuck in his ear, so I'll take this dude out of your ear. I guess that's what he's saying. I presume that's what he's saying. Out of your, okay, I'll put, yeah. Rav Huna ben Achia Savar Ravuna Rav Hina hold of the Karab Zachar Vikasav. Amar Rachel, my high Amar Le de Amar Ravuna Amar Rav Halach Karab Zachar Vikasav. Amar Le Ashalach Le Ichseif. Amar Le Hashta Kinach Nafshed Ravuna Istres Lekibli. You know, it looks like I might have to do part 2. I never usually like to have it more than 20 minutes. And here we have 15 minutes already. You know what? We'll do part 2. We'll do a part 2. I think we'll do. We'll stop it here. And then we'll do